Welcome engineers to another episode of Automated. We are up to World 3, Level 5, Lighting Tower and Shroom of Secrets. Let's get into it, try to get a 5-star solution. Alright, what do we have here? We have 2 levels and very little space. We have to make 60 lightning towers in 3 minutes, or to get the start 2 minutes and 10. So 60 in 2 minutes. This makes 60 per minute, which should be enough. So we just need one manufacturer at the end, and our output is over here. So let's just put down a manufacturer to remind ourselves that's what we're trying to do. Now, what is this crazy process? Let's take a look. So we've got a bunch of different processes. There's only one way to make the solar lightning tower. So we're going to need 60 polycrystalline silicon, which we're familiar with, nebula infused opal, which we've never seen before, and concrete block, which we're familiar with. Start with a concrete block. There's 2 ways to make concrete block, which is either with just the sodium or a longer way to make this. Okay, that's fine. That makes sodium and chloride, which is fine. Probably go with this solution. It seems easier. The next thing that we need to make is this thing. So to make this, we need 60 of this and 120 of this. This is the shadow opal shard, which is the purple shard, plus sulfuric acid, plus copper filament. Do we have any of those materials? Well, I see sulfuric acid here already, which just means we don't need to make the sulfuric acid, so we can skip this whole process, thankfully, because this thing takes so much space from last level, we remember. We've got the copper filament, which is 60, that's perfect. And we've got 60 of this. Okay, so this is kind of telling us that's how we make that. And the last component is this pink crystal, which we need 120 of, but each welder only makes 60. So we can do it this method, which requires a bunch of stuff, but this only makes 30 aluminum casing. Or we can do it with this method, which makes 60 aluminum casing, but we need 60 and 60 to make this. Is there an easier way to do this? Instead of that, we can use one advanced furnace and use reinforced aluminum beams, of which we would just need 2 of these, which means each one needs 180, 360 aluminum. Do we have 360 aluminum? Perfect. We have 360 aluminum right here. So let's try that solution. Okay, I'm going to make the new thing first because I've never seen it before and I want to see what this build actually looks like. So we need to split the 360 into 2 belts of 180. Or, let's just split it into 2 belts of 180 first. There's 2 180s. And then we need to split it into a 120 and a 60, which is that. And one needs to go into a cutter and one needs to go into a press. Cutter and press really don't go well together. But if we did something like this, then they line up nicely to go into the advanced furnace. Oh, this thing's massive. And that's making 60 and we need 2 of these. Ugh. But we can just flip this, right? And that makes everything that we needed to make. We don't even need to do the settings. I thought I was going to have to set this splitter to do some fancy stuff. But we don't. This seems like what it wants us to do. From the advanced furnace, this 60 and 60 needs to go into then 2 welders. Welders are pretty massive too. They're not small. And that gets us our output. Okay. That used up all the space here. Great. This uses up all my space on the entire map. But it gets me what I want. I just need to take this and bring it over here. So we can split it first and then bring it down, or we can bring it down and then split it. I'm tempted to split it first and then bring it down. What's better? If we did this, go up one more. If you're enjoying the video and you want to support DataEngineerPlays, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. And if you have any feedback or suggestions, feel free to share them in the comment section. We need to bring it around and then split it like this. This needs to be upgraded. Then we can bring a belt over this side Ah, but that's too low. In which case, wouldn't it be better to bring it down first? So bring it down first, then split it. Not like this though. We need to bring one belt over to the other side, one belt onto this side. I'm wary of putting this like here, because then it blocks this thing's input. We can bring it around like this, in which case we can put the splitter like here. And do something like this. That gets our 60. And then we did that, but we want it one higher. We can link it up with this. What do you hate about this? There's our 60 and 60, except it's saying 30 and 30. Because we're not getting enough pink crystal. Because this thing needs to be upgraded. There we go. There's our 60 and 60. And our 60 and 60 needs to merge into a thing and go into an advanced cutter. That seems almost impossible to do. Because there's no more space here, that's the problem. There's no way I'm putting an advanced cutter down here. And plus, the other component of the advanced cutter is this opal shard. So would it make sense to then maybe bring it back up? Because we can combine these and bring it up, right? A bit too high. Like that. And then we can bring that up here, which seems almost perfect. Not perfect because this thing is not going to be able to be output and we need that. Bring it around the back. A bit long. Is there a better way to do this? We'll think about it later. But that gets us our 120 of this metal thing. And that needs to mix with the 120 of this. Or 240 of this. So now we can immediately split this. And put that into 2 welders. 1 and 2. Oh, if only I could split this somehow. That would have been perfect. It would have been so clean. I mean, I suppose I could do this. But then it's at the wrong height as well. That seems silly. It should be one belt coming out of here and then some way to split this. I mean, we could just bring it up a bit. And then bring it in one. Like here. Like this could work, it's just not as clean. All because of this sulfuric acid. We want to bring it in like that. And then we can do a tiny lift. Like here and here. Link that, link that. What is not happy about that? Not getting enough this item. Because I unlinked that. Now you're happy. You got this. Now we need to bring the output of that into an advanced cutter with this thing. This thing is not that hard, right? We just need the copper filament, which is a furnace. The furnace goes into a dissolution chamber with this thing. So let's just put a dissolution chamber, say, here. This thing goes in. This thing goes in. And then the sulfuric acid, which we left some room for. Can we somehow weave it underneath this belt? We can. But this is still not the right input. We've got the filament, we've got this, but we don't have sulfuric acid. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong input. That's the output. Go out one more, connect that. And there is our 2 bits of this, 60 and the 120 of this, that needs to go into an advanced cutter. Where would an advanced cutter fit in this world? We'd like it facing down this way to bring it back down. Everything is so tight. Stupid advanced cutter. Is there another way to make this without an advanced cutter? Not really. Can we move any of this stuff back? Not really. It's just so tight. The whole challenge with this level is space. I'm gonna move my advanced cutter here. Then my dissolution chamber would go here. One of my inputs would go in here. And then if we use a lift for the other input, here, like that. A bit high. Like that. We lift it in instead. Connect it over here. Connect the pipe there. That is a tighter fit for this thing. Now we're getting the pink. Oh, that's fine. We can just move this out one. Not as clean because this thing doesn't fit quite neatly in here. Oh, it could. Get rid of this lift. Move this over one. Put that one into this input. And then put my lift over here. And then change where this goes. Reconnect this pipe. And now we're getting one of our 3 final components, the nebula infused opal. This thing needs to go ultimately down this way and like out here somewhere for manufacturing. Cool. I mean, sure, that's a thing, but we've still got so much more to do. First of all, can we make this thing? Heavy water. We don't even have heavy water on this map. So we have to make this thing using the oil. Oh, we don't need a distribution column because it's already giving us heavy oil straight out of the tap. And that oil needs to mix with the silicon over here in a dissolution chamber. I can fit it here. Like, it's almost magically can fit it here. And then if I can somehow route the oil into here, then that's the second component done. What about the final component? That's hard. Because that's water and salt. We need to mix the water and salt in a dissolution chamber. Like this. To get brine. So we definitely need the liquid output available to us. If we take the water this way and out of the map to save as much space as possible, we can theoretically bring it down here somewhere and connect it here. There's our brine. Our brine needs to go into a biofluxer to make sodium. Biofluxes are pretty annoying as well. Sodium is a liquid, so I need my liquid out available. But I also need my other things available, so I can pipe in the liquid from here to here. Can't see where this liquid's meant to connect. There you go. There's the sodium. The sodium comes out here. And the sodium needs to go in with 240 concrete into 2 dissolution chambers to make this. Alternatively, 1 dissolution chamber, but I'd have to keep processing this brine, or take this, make more stuff with the water, connect them, and then make it into hydrogen. What's easier? How do we bring in 240 concrete all the way from this side of the world into 2 dissolution chambers? And don't forget, we still need to pipe in all our final outputs. We haven't done any of that yet. Oh god, this is not easy, but we're getting there. I'm gonna put down 2 dissolution chambers somewhere. Definitely not fitting in here. can't fit here. Like, ideally, I would want 2 dissolution chambers here. If we can fit this thing over here and just, like, if we run... How are we doing for power? We've got so much power. If we can just run a long belt out into the world, into the abyss, if you will. Is there another direction I can run this over? Not really. I'm gonna get rid of this pipe for now and see if it's even possible to run this belt. It doesn't like it. It's okay here. And then it's okay here. Oh, but then I need a lift, right? I can't just... I can't just not have a lift. It needs to go into a lift. Now, do I need this pole? Apparently I need this pole. But this is a method of getting this in. Although I would have to upgrade all of this. That would need to be a level 2 belt. And that level 2 belt doesn't actually use that much power. And this needs to be upgraded. So that gets it. It's 120 of each of the concrete. Now I need to get the brine in. Like that. Is it brine? Sodium, sorry. So the water pipe needs to happen again. Let's see how I can weave a water pipe in here. I don't want to mess with this part either because I know I need oil at some point. So like this. And then we need the water to come up and over. Try that again. Up and over and down. That connects the water. That gets our brine. That gets our 60-60, which is 120 of this, right? Because we need the 120 of this. The 120 of this needs to go into here. This pipe is now in the way of everything. Because how is it possible to put a belt here? It's not. But the pipe can go around any other direction. That's fine. Or we can move the manufacturer somewhere else. Oh man, is it... Have I got everything except the manufacturer down? That's hilarious. Where's my other 2 materials that I need to bring? One of them is here. Oh, this was such a clear path as well. Look. If I put this here, and then this goes in here, this actually has a clear path in. And that's like 2 of our materials in. Oh wait, we haven't done the oil yet. Let's get the oil in as well. I don't think the oil is super challenging. Let's just bring it around here. Bring this, meet it somewhere halfway. Like that. Cut, oops. Cut that. Get rid of that. And there's our 60 here. So this thing's getting 2 of the 3 things that it actually needs. It just needs the 3rd one. But I can't fit a lift here. Can I just move this across 1? I could. And that doesn't change anything. And then I can fit a lift here. So now I just need to marry up this and this with a lift. That doesn't seem challenging. We would definitely need to lift here because we can't do this because that water pipe is in the way. But it doesn't need to be in the way. It does need to be in the way unless I go up and over and then down. Now we'll optimize this pipe in a bit. But that gets this belt almost out. But where is it stuck? So we just need to get this belt over to this lift somehow. And it doesn't like anything I'm doing. Is it too long? Or is it intercepting something? There's an X here. That means it's too low. Yeah, it's hitting this thing. So that means we need to lift this at some point. Simple enough. So now we can build all the way over. And if we just get this lift at the correct height, we should be all good. If only I could see what that correct height was. By some magic, we'll have produced the thing we need. We can reconnect this oil pipe now. I'm just gonna get rid of this janky mess that I've done and just rebuild it. Because we want to go down again. Something like that. And then connect it like that. And by some magic we are getting our solar panels. Our power is over. Our power is over, unfortunately. But do we get this in the right time? Power being over is not a major deal because we can optimize something here, I'm sure. Our power is not over by much. So if we can just run this and see how long it takes for this to whir up. Obviously, it's this thing that takes the longest. If it produces at all ever, it takes so long to whir up. What do we have? 3 stars? 2 minutes or 10? Actually, not that long. Actually, not that long. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So it's not too much to optimize this. Oh, it means we're on the right track and we just need to do same thing that we're currently doing, just better. What can we do better? So obviously the salt is not that bad, which means what we can do is if you use less belt, let's just start with where the biggest pain points are. This is obviously fine. Bringing this back up here like this is a pain point, kind of, out and around, as opposed to what, just like down this way and splitting it. I don't think that saves anything. Anything over here we can do better. Why do I feel like everything is already optimized? I'm actually not seeing any very obvious optimizations. What is this splitter? An extra splitter would be definitely a thing, right? But we're still way over power. My first thing would be if there was a way to get these happening somewhere else and then bring the output out over here, that would be a lot better. But this thing requires brine, and there's not really any other space for these 2 dissolution chambers. Let me think. Let me delete this thing first, because ultimately we can kind of maneuver these 2 things a little bit. Like, say we were to maneuver this thing over here somewhere. Let's just place it here. Oops. It doesn't like something about this. Well, we'll move stuff around later. We'll delete what doesn't need to be there for now. If we could maneuver this thing onto this side somehow, because that is what, a liquid input, like here somewhere. I'm just gonna cut this belt and just reposition these 2 things somewhere else. That would help us out a lot, I think. What if we were to put this like here? Like, we can put that there, right? And then we can just belt this out a little bit further. That's not a problem. That would save a little bit of water pipe too, inadvertently. And then if we put our brine machine, say here, does that save any space whatsoever? No. I'm going to remove these two things because what I want to do, my goal, let's see if we can figure it out. I'm going to remove this thing too, because this can go anywhere, right? My goal would be to put these two things closer, like this, but that blocks the salt. That would work, because then the output can just go here as one thing. If we can get this working like that, that would use up a lot less power, right? Because then we can put our splitter here, our lift here. I'm going to get rid of this water pipe too. So ultimately we want our lift coming out here into a lift, like this. Oh, that's like one off. Can we move this like one over? I think this thing can go anywhere. So we did that. This thing can come out into here, like this. And then that can go into here, right? That would work, wouldn't it? However, the challenge would be then, how do we fit our brine and salt machine here? So our diffuser would go here. And water would have to come out from here. So we get our pipe coming around the back here and over. Like that. So that gets our saltwater brine. The brine needs to be then turned into thing in a biofluxor. And that can't be intercepting this belt, but it can be here. So if I can somehow get this brine, we can flip that up and over like that. That gets us our brine liquid. The brine liquid, it's cheap. Oh, can this and this join? Oh, we're so close. If only this could join here. I need the space out here to do the liquid pipe. Can we do it like there? That would allow that. But then we need to jankily get this pipe over to the other side. Which means we need even more height. Like that. That gets that in. That's still in. So we're still getting our concrete. We just need to put our brine in. Which it's over here somewhere. Which should be very easily doable. Like this. And that gets our concrete blocks out. Great. And that's one of our 3 inputs. Our second input, oh wait, this does need to go here. Something like that. Our second input being over here somewhere. And then our third input is still from this side. It's still this belt over here. Which we can then just get this at the right height. And just get that in. Then we just need to wire the output. Is that better for power? 1048. Why can't this go into here? Does this work? Let's just test this works. No, it doesn't work because of this stupid thing. But we can just move this one across, right? That's not a problem. Let's move all of this one across. Bring that over here. That does work, right? How's our power? We should have saved a bit of power. 1040. Alright, cool. So we're only 15 off somewhere. This is pretty much optimized. I don't feel like I can bring this any closer because of this lift, right? They're pretty much stuck there. This is all optimized. These pipes are pretty much doing what they're going to do. These pipes are okay. This is optimized. Can this be brought any closer? Not really. I feel like I'm carrying everything as minimally as I can. If we can somehow shift this back one, that would be perfect. But there's no way that can be done. Because this needs to come out somehow. So this tile is dead. Alright, let's keep tinkering. I thought of one optimization we can do here. So, instead of facing this way and drawing such long belts over here, it's not huge, but it's something. What we can do is instead face this thing this way, I think. By facing it this way, this belt is shorter by a couple. Remember, we're only trying to optimize down a couple of things. We can move the elevator like here, which cuts down this belt as well. And then it also cuts down this belt because we can bring it in like that, right? And then it's a little bit longer on this belt. So does that get us there? 1021. We did it. 1021. That was the optimization we needed. Nice. Let's run it and see if it actually works. Oh, right. We were still 1 second off as well. So we weren't meeting the time. So let's keep a keen eye on what is causing the thing to be slow. I think it's this thing starting up, but I can't make anything here faster. That's the problem. Takes ages for this thing to fully saturate. It's slower. It's way slower. 213. Our old thing did it in 212. Okay, and it's not way slower. It's like slightly slower. So we just need to optimize the time and we're done. So to shave off 3 seconds of the process, it's obviously the travel time from this over to this side needs to be slightly faster. And also, over here, can we make it go this way instead? Like, instead of this, can't we do this? Like that. And then we can get rid of this. And this splitter, and instead belt it in like this. So it goes backwards, basically. I don't know if that's faster. Is it more expensive? Oh, ooh, it was slightly more expensive to do it this way. Why is it slightly more expensive? Shouldn't it be cheaper? Because this belt becomes longer. I was gonna say, maybe I can just like shove a fast belt slightly somewhere. Just a little cheeky level 2 belt, but I don't have any spare power to do that. If I did, what if we swapped this? So in that, if we did it this way and change this back to normal, then instead of this going in here, we bring this into here. Is that better? That still makes that. This thing is no longer getting its thing because that needs to be that. Is that better? Ah, that's even more power saving. All right, cool. But is it faster? Because now this thing is just going straight into here instead of having to travel, whereas this thing now travels. So in theory, this should now whir up a lot faster. Well, validate our theory and see if that works. Can't wait to see some other people's solutions for this. I feel like it started up a lot faster. I think I got tunneled in some of this bit over here and ended up, yeah. But we did it. We got the time, 2 minutes and 5 seconds. We shaved off a lot of time. We're number 6 on time, which is pretty good. The best time is 1:40? What are you doing? The best power ranking is 687. What are you? I'm doing something wrong. That's gotta be I'm doing something wrong. Base, they're doing 517. Oh my god, there is so much room for improvement on here. Why am I struggling to do this? Like, let's see what these guys are doing. 990 power. These are the same solution. So 990 power by Nausis. It looks like mine, like at first glance, except he's doing all his liquid stuff up there. So he's bringing the salt up to the top to do all his liquid processing up there. And then ultimately he's bringing his pink crystal. He's doing the same thing as me down here. I can see the 2 advanced furnaces or whatever making the aluminum. And then somehow he's bringing the aluminum back. I can't tell where that's happening. I believe it's this lift is bringing the aluminum back up to then process it all into crystals to come back down and then into a manufacturer. Apparently that's a lot better for some reason. He's still using the oil pipe as I am. Is he not using the sulfur pipe? I think he is using the sulfur pipe. He's definitely not using this process. It is the same process as me. It's just he's doing his liquid processing up there, which for some reason is, it would be a lot space efficient, a lot more power efficient because you wouldn't have a rank 2 belt running all the way down back this way. So if you processed it up there and then brought the finished material down into, yeah, this is the final material. It's being brought down using a level 1 lift all the way back down. Cool. The time is not that great, but the power usage is amazing. Fantastic. Alright, but we got our 5 stars and that's all we're concerned about. So on to the next level.